So I leave Black and Blue. I'm watching this movie. I'm going, this is kind of familiar. This is a little cliched, but the people enjoyed it. So I'm conflicted about my review, but let's talk about Black and Blue anyways. What's up, guys, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Black and Blue, the newest film from director Deon Taylor, and it stars Naomi Harris, Frank Grillo, Tyrese Gibson, Reid Scott, Mike Colter, Beau Knapp, James Moses, and Nafessa Williams. So, Black and Blue is a movie that I got to see almost a month in advance. So, it was pretty cool to be able to see a movie that early so I can kind of get my review out there and kind of tell you about this movie. But it's a movie that I have conflicting opinions about, and I'll get into why in just a second. But the basic storyline is this: Naomi Harris plays a character, Ashley Wells, and she's a character that grew up in New Orleans. She went off to fight in the Iraqi War, and she came back and became a police officer. And in the process, she wants to help people. She's what we call an honest cop, which is what cops should be. And she is just wanting to protect her people, the people that are downtrodden, the people that have gone through things like Katrina, and so on and so forth. And the movie is dealing with the idea of cops and the African American community, which is very present in today's society and is very potent and should be talked about. If you've seen stuff like Blind Spotting or The Hate You Give, you know that these movies are very, very important and they should be talked about. But sometimes they're just left on in the dust, and a lot of people are very uncomfortable with the subject matter because when you get into stuff like this, or you get in this, anything that deals with people hurting other people, you don't want to watch stuff like that. It's just not how this rolls, but that's neither here or there. So Ashley Wells has a friend who's played by Reid Scott, who plays Kevin, and they are a perfect pair. He's white, she's black. But the problem is, because of her skin, she can kind of see that he's almost taking advantage of the community that she is known well and good. Growing up, he goes into a convenience store that's run by Tyrese's Gibson's character, and he kind of takes advantage of the situation. And you really feel for the pain that she's going through and the fact that she wants to help her people, but there's the problems. But it's just the way, unfortunately, things are in this day and age, and it shouldn't be, but that's the way it is. And so they're about to finish their shift, and the Kevin character basically is told he's going to do double shift, but he wants to go be with his wife, so on and so forth. But Naomi Harris's character, Ashley, being who she is, she takes a double duty shift where she meets a character named Black, and they basically go on patrol overnight. And we start to see the problems with the police and this, the African American community, like in full force. Well, in the process of all that, they end up at a warehouse where, Ashley Wells' character witnesses basically a bunch of corrupt cops murder a bunch of people. It's in the trailer, so don't worry. I'm not spoiling anything. And she goes on the run. She basically is being hunted down by Frank Grillo's character and his cohorts. And it's basically the story about her trying to get her body cam, because police officers have body cams now, to the local station so that she can expose the cops for who they are, which are murderers, and so on and so forth. Now, with that said, the movie itself does have a good message and how people should be treated but are not being treated properly. It also goes into really heavy-handed material, which does work in a lot of aspects of how, when she is put in that scenario of being chased, she has to look to the people that she kind of left behind. And there's a character played by Nafessa Williams who really has a deep emotional problem with her, because when Ashley's character went off to Iraq, she basically, became a different person. She really hates Ashley's character for that. But with that said, on top of all of that, that's a good message of people trying to look out for other people. That's what you got to do. When Ashley's character goes to, Tyrese Gibson's character and has to use him to help her, it leads into the problem I have with this movie is not those characters, it's the police thing. It's making the police almost look like corrupt idiots. I hate the fact that they are taking this police force, which is in the middle of New Orleans, And because of all the stuff that happened in New Orleans with Katrina and stuff like that, they're all of a sudden all bad guys. Movie is turned into The Shield, basically, with a good guy going after, the characters in the Shield. And it's so heavy handed, so over the top, and so muddled message that it just becomes sort of a problem and just becomes a headache after a while. They are these corrupt cops are able to find her really easily, and every cop seems to be a bad guy that Ashley can't trust. And it's just like, you've seen this a million times before, and it's really frustrating to watch. And it's not to say it's a terrible movie, because it's really not. It's a movie that has something to say, but it just doesn't do it very well, and that's such a problem in a movie that I want to kind of respect for what it's doing. But it's not to say that it's hard for me to like really condemn this movie for being an action film. But when you see movies do it so much better, and when you see it more or less zealous and comedic and over the top and goofy, there were people clapping at some of the weirdest moments in this movie, and they were cheering at some of the weirdest, oddest things about this movie. It's just like, that's not what this movie should be about. It should be about characters who really are trying to prove a point. And maybe I'm just looking at it too far and too wide of it, but it's just like, I don't know. Like I said, I just feel like, especially the Mike Colter character is just so over the top and just like goofy and such a stereotype. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. And then things get fixed real easily, and just the way things play out and just the ending. I just wish I loved this movie more than I do. And there are, like I said, there are moments where you have fun with it, but there are moments where you're just like, what's the point? What's the point of this movie? Maybe I'm just missing the point. Maybe it's just not a movie for me, but it's just a movie that I don't know. I feel almost flabbergasted talking about it, because I feel like I should enjoy something like this because it's an action piece. But look at for instance End of Watch. End of Watch is a movie that deals with this very almost simple scenario of two cops who patrol this area, and it does it, and it teaches, like, it gives a better lesson in the scenario of cops versus minorities or certain groups of people. And it does it so much better and so much more effective than this movie does. And it's just, I don't know. I was surprised that this movie got a screening so early, because it just feels like a movie that maybe I'm going to be the only one that hates. And if I do, I apologize. But it's just, I didn't like it. I didn't like the movie at all. I kind of feel bad for everyone involved. So, but there you go. That's my take on Black and Blue. I hope you enjoyed my review. But comment below on what your favorite cop drama is, or what's your favorite movie that deals with this subject matter, like Do the Right Thing or something like that. But tell me below, tell me what you think. But otherwise, hit the subscribe button, join Movie Emporium, hit the notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next, and comment below on any video that you watch. But otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for checking out Movie Emporium. I really appreciate it. If you want to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button and the bell at the top. Find out what's coming next for Movie Emporium. Also, check out these two videos. They're amazing. I think they're awesome. I think you'll enjoy them too. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.